welcome to this final episode of Race Through the States. I'm your host, Jaden Jefferson, and Election Day is Tuesday. We have really made it after all of these weeks of waiting and watching and following the candidates. And so, just before Election Day, I want to give you a preview of what you can expect in terms of results. Because a lot of people say, yeah, Tuesday night we're going to have an idea of who the winner is, but that may or may not be the case. Because there are some states that do not begin counting their ballots until Election Day. And those states are Arkansas, California, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. A lot of states there that do not begin counting until the polls close on Election Day. And you will note that there are some swing states in that list. Michigan, Pennsylvania is in there. We also have Wisconsin in there, North Carolina, Georgia. So it will be some time before we have a clear idea of who the winner of this election could be. And it takes days on end really to make sure and get those results certified. So yes, it will take some time before we do know the winner of this election. Now, one thing I will encourage you to do is understand that that's normal, because a lot of times with elections, especially ones like this one, you have so many votes that have been cast early, and then you just have the surge of folks that vote on Election Day, and so officials have to take their time. And also understand that this is a bipartisan process. Here in Toledo, Ohio, I visited the Lucas County Board of Elections the last election, and I talked with the director, Lavera Scott, and she explained to me that Democrats and Republicans are working together on these elections. It's not just one party that controls it. It's Democrats and Republicans doing this work. And one thing that Director Scott brought up during our interview is that people should maybe become a poll worker. Obviously, there are a lot of people that do choose to do this election after election, but one thing to understand is that some of these folks are a bit older and they may not want to do it anymore. And so there needs to be that younger generation, younger crop of folks who step up and become a part of these elections so they can happen. No election happens without the support of other individuals, making sure that those machines are operational, making sure that you're able to get your vote in, and making sure that your vote is counted. Those are all things that people have to do. And so definitely no election is on autopilot. So if you want to volunteer to be a poll worker, maybe you missed the cutoff this election, but want to do it the next election in your community, definitely consider it. It doesn't have to be a presidential election. Every election needs a little help. And another cool part about it is that you can explain to others just how secure the process is. You will be there firsthand to see how it all works. And so when people are informed, we are less prone to misinformation and disinformation. That's something that's important. So if you can educate others after that, you'll be doing a great service to your community and feel good about it too. This has been the final episode of Race Through the States. I'm your host, Jaden Jefferson, and I will be with you all day on Election Day, bringing you those updates as we get those early votes counted and as those results come in from Election Day itself. Like I said in this episode, it may take some time before we have a good idea as to who will win the election, but we just have to pay attention to the swing states really, and those states are Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. I'll be following all of them as I have been on this podcast. But for now, enjoy your weekend, and thanks for listening. Race Through the States is a production of Jaden Jefferson Report Studios. Join the conversation over on social media at Jaden, Jaden_reports on X, Instagram, and Threads, and Facebook under Jaden Jefferson Reports.